Coming up on SBS-Tv News.
School planning. A large turnout last week for the second community input session for South Bend School's master plan. Hear what plans the corporation has in store.
Plus, an Adams High School student from the Ukraine started a club in support of her country. Find out how they're helping.
And students at Riley High School are setting the stage for their first play in 2 years. See how students are rebuilding the school's theater program.
Plus, we're tracking warmer weather that's finally making its way to the Midwest. I'll have your weekend forecast coming up.
From the SBS-Tv studios at Riley High School, this is SBS-Tv News, South Bend.
Hello, and thanks for joining us for SBS-Tv News. I'm Fernando Sanchez from John Adams High School.
And I'm Sajanaya Grohl, also from John Adams High School. We begin with new developments as South Bend schools are making plans that may combine and close certain schools.
According to the corporation, there are, quote, too many schools in the district that are not being fully utilized. Last Thursday, community members gathered at the Charles Black Community Center for a second community meeting. At the meeting, they presented 3 plans that would better utilize buildings and provide resources to students. With that, the school corporation is asking for your help. The community is asked to consider different options ranging from the closure of high schools and the addition of a career and technical center. Officials say nothing is set in stone as they are trying to gather community feedback. A second survey is open now. It will be available until 5 p.m. this Sunday, May 15th. If you would like to take a closer look at the options and survey, just head on over to sb.school and click on Facilities Master Plan.
South Bend is partnering with Casa de Amistad to support refugees from Afghanistan. The city is dedicating $100,000 to help with legal fees, transportation, and language translators for the refugees. The city will provide funds to La Casa to contract interpretation and translation services to deliver legal and transportation services for immigrants, including more than 60 recently resettled Afghans in South Bend.
So this investment from the mayor's office, from the redevelopment commission, from city council, in my opinion, historic. Historic in the way of how the city of South Bend, this city is setting an example for other cities to be more welcoming.
There are currently 63 Afghan refugees calling South Bend home, with 18 of these battling immigration cases.
The war in Ukraine may seem far away, but it's touching lives right here in South Bend. Rafael Tortolero shows us how a Ukrainian student at John Adams High School started a club to support her country.
Imagine if South Bend was bombed. Your school, house, and favorite store don't exist anymore. That is exactly how Nika Anderson, an Adams student, feels. As a Ukrainian immigrant, she felt the need to do something to help her country. With the assistance of school staff, she has created a club to support Ukraine.
We are hosting fundraisers, we're setting up various events, and not only that, but we're also reading the news and planting sunflowers and, just community projects like that.
Adams librarian Lisa Brady has been a big help for the club.
I just try to help facilitate things. Nika and we come up with ideas, and I just try to facilitate. Like, I will go to the administration and get permissions for different things.
You don't have to be part of the club to support and help Ukraine during the war.
You can go online and find a charity to donate to, or you could just keep in touch with the news, or even just wearing blue and yellow to show your support.
The club is currently focusing on sending monetary donations, since it's very difficult to send physical goods to the country.
Things physically now, I don't think is practical for us, but giving them the money so that they can get things, more locally is good.
They are donating money to a Red Cross, which then will be used to provide food, bedding, shelter, support evacuations, and to provide first aid. If you would like to know more about the club, you can always get in touch with Nika or Miss Brady. Reporting for SBS-Tv News, I'm Rafael Tortolero.
The pandemic has shown how important it is to have reliable internet access. The South Bend School District offers mobile hotspots and Wi-Fi modems, but a new agreement will create a private LTE network. Trinity Finnessy brings us the details.
Imagine a classroom so big it stretches to include all of South Bend. That's exactly what South Bend School pilot program to host its own LTE or wireless internet service aims to do. In short, Chief Technology Officer Pat Stabley says the individual goal is to make sure every student in the school system has internet at home.
Much like if you have Comcast at your home and they give you a cable modem, ours will be just like that, except instead of being connected to a wire that's right in your house, it'll have a SIM card in it, just like your cell phones do. And that SIM card will connect you to the LTE network over the air, and then push out Wi-Fi signal to the entire house.
The need for the citywide classroom was realized during the COVID-19 pandemic, when schools across the country had to go on e-learning for an extended period of time. Comcast first provided free internet service to students in need, but that program came to an end back in January.
We don't want to limit families' internet experience to just education. Like that, we know that the internet opens up so much more for families, so they can, pay bills, play games, things like that. So it won't be limited just to education. It's open for everything.
In addition to having full control over the network, the pilot program will have cost-saving benefits. It will only cost $40,000 a year, as opposed to the $60,000 plus a month the district currently spends to maintain hotspots.
It's going to be any student in SBCSC can qualify for it. Once they have it at their house, it's open for family members, for anybody at their house, really, to use. We don't restrict the people that connect in any way, so it'll function just like internet service. Obviously, the more people you have on, the slower it can get, since it is cellular. So, if you're doing gaming, you might not want 10 people online at once to do, have good gaming performance. And the same thing works for much like when you're in Riley, right? Like the deeper you are in a building, the less cell phone coverage you have. So in your house, the deeper you are in the house with the modem, the less strength and speed you'll have. So it'd be good to have it near a window or near an exterior wall, so it gets provided the strongest strength, and then it can boost that throughout your house.
The first service towers will be installed on Riley High School, Jackson Middle School, and Telecommunications, mast owned by Hayes Towers.
So this is our test area, really, to see how things go, and then we hope to expand from there if things go well.
The Citywide Classroom is funded by $1.8 million, Governor's Emergency Education Relief Grant. For SBS-TV, I'm Trinity Finnessy.
Coming up after the break, a country music legend rocks Notre Dame Stadium.
Plus, the Big Band Bash at John Adams High School. We'll be right back.
You're watching SBS-TV News. First runner-up for the Indiana Association of School Broadcasters Television School of the Year.
May is Mental Health Month. Everyone could use a break. With our special hour-long podcast, Brain Break, we start with the basics. Everyone can identify different emotions. Then work on destigmatizing some of the issues that go along with them for a positive mental health. We all deal with issues we think no one else understands or faces. With Brain Break, we face them together. Join us with Brain Break Monday at sbstvradio.org.
Welcome back. Country music legend Garth Brooks made his grand return to Notre Dame Stadium last weekend. The stadium, packed with fans, was fortunate to have warmer weather. When Brooks first performed in 2018, fans were met with cold temperatures and rain. Brooks says that his performance at Notre Dame will be his last at that venue. He also says that his stadium tours will be ending. A decision to end the stadium tours comes after pandemic and weather concerns.
John Adams recently hosted an evening of music featuring jazz bands from Adams High School and from the community. Jediani Soto was there to catch the action.
Friday, April 29th, John Adams High School held their annual Big Band Bash in hopes of gaining attention for the band, along with bringing people together for a night of fun.
We've got Clave Caribe, a professional Latin ensemble, coming here, so it looks like there's going to be a huge turnout and a lot of people having fun together.
We are auctioning off a bunch of baskets that each section has made that have various things, like one of them is a chocolate basket. We're also auctioning off a bunch of the art students' art.
The night consisted of not only live music and refreshments, but a silent auction that took place days before the night even started.
And our auction is doing really well right now. We set up the whole website and had it running for a couple days now, and we've had quite a few bids even before it's even started. Our band boosters and our parents were extremely helpful with everything. They knew how most of this went, and so we just went off of their advice, and we also talked to past band directors who have done this before, so they were incredibly helpful getting us all figured out.
Students and families danced the night away, while enjoying the collaboration of the different art and music departments. Band director Kevin Graham said he was happy to contribute to the collaboration, being able to showcase his students' talents.
I think a lot of people don't realize the amount of great musicians that we have at the school district, and then overall, it's just a fun evening.
The Eagles have a goal of raising $10,000 to help pay for various things in the upcoming school year. But what are they going to be purchasing with all that money?
My initial plan, or what I'm going to ask for, is trying to get more teachers here at the school. So trying to get a private lesson program started so that the students here can take free or reduced private lessons.
If you missed the event, don't worry. You still have another chance to see the band perform before summer starts. Reporting for SBS-TV News, I'm Jarini Soto.
After a 2-year hiatus, the Riley Drama Club is back in action with a new play. Makari Ritchie takes us backstage.
Okay, and activate.
Riley High School is bringing back their theater program for the first time since the pandemic with their performance of Junie B.
My character's name is Junie B. Jones, so she's very energetic, rambunctious kindergartner. She's just kind of all over the place. She has a lot of energy.
Yeah, and then go to the
The actor who plays Handsome Warren gives us a little insight on why people should join the drama club.
We have a lot of fun here. Your friendships get a lot closer doing theater and being together because you spend a lot of time together.
The students are excited to be back on stage under the direction of the new drama teacher, Mr. Middleman.
It is very rewarding, but there's a lot to do, especially coming out of a pandemic. There's a lot of interest, and I'm hoping that interest will grow.
These seats are empty now, but the drama club hopes it will be a full house this weekend. Community support is important for the theater program to grow.
It's really good to support the drama club, and so we can do more shows in the future, and maybe even get people who watch our shows to be interested, like, that actually sounds kind of fun.
Can you slap the ground? Oh my gosh, that's so fun.
You can see the show at Riley High School Auditorium on May 13th at 7 p.m. and on 14th at 2 p.m. Tickets are $5 at the door. For SBS-TV News, I'm Makari Ritchie.
Spring has sprung and warmer weather is on the way.
Malin Pascal has the latest in our weather center.
We've had quite a warm week as the Midwest gets a taste of summer. We've been tracking significantly warmer weather, with Wednesday being our record high. Starting off today, not a bad day to hit the beach. However, the water might be colder than usual, with a low of 61 and a high of 85. Saturday is looking like our last warm day this week, with highs hitting 80. The Michigan area is looking at a high chances of thunderstorms, so make sure you have that umbrella handy. Then on Sunday, we see a significant dip in temperatures. We're seeing a high of 73, but we'll be trading those thunderstorms for partly cloudy skies for most of the day. From the SBS-TV Weather Center, I'm Malin Pascal. Back to you at the anchor desk.
Thanks, Malin. I'm looking forward to a warm weekend. How about you?
I am too. I have a Chicago trip, so I'm definitely going to need it.
Yeah. It's also great weather for spring sports. Cooper brings us the updates on Sports Zone.
You're entering the SBS-TV Sports Zone.
We all know the age-old adage, April showers bring May flowers, and as the rain goes away and spring sports start to pick up speed and bloom. But this year, it's been anything but. I'm Cooper Van Driesch, back with another Sports Zone update. I'd like to begin by addressing an issue that affects student athletes. One of the biggest showers we've seen this spring sports season is the overuse of name, image, and likeness, more commonly referred to as NIL. Starting in July 2021, the Supreme Court voted on a decision that allows NCAA student athletes the possibility to receive compensation to promote, partner, and represent brands. Being compensated for their work on the athletic field is something that every athlete should have the opportunity to do. But the national governing body of college athletics, the NCAA, has seemingly lost control of their brand, with many colleges paying their athletes to attend their respective university. Among other things such as the transfer portal and gender equality in sports, the NAL has led the announcement that NC2A President Mark Emmer will step down in June of 2023. All these factors led to Notre Dame Athletic Director Jack Swarbrick to speak out on the issue, saying he wouldn't be surprised if the NC2A would no longer exist by the mid-2030s. But before athletes can get to college and sign NIL deals, they have to start out representing their high school team. And as rain and cold have canceled many games, it definitely has been an interesting South Bend school spring sports season. It's all about inter-corporation rivalries here in South Bend, and the spring sports season has definitely lived up to that. At Adams, the boys baseball team defeated Clay last week with a final score of 14-2. On the track side of things, the Riley Wildcat boys had a huge win over Adams last week with a final score of 78-54. Although city rivalries are important, conference rivalries have a little bit more meaning. And at Washington, the girls track team ran past Don Glenn last week. Lastly, over at Clay, the girls softball team won 2 non-conference games last week against East Noble and Angola. As we get ready to close out the 2021-2022 high school sports season in the upcoming weeks, it's time we look back at the historic year it's been for South Bend sports. In the past year, multiple teams have been crowned sectional champions, and most outstandingly, the Washington girls basketball team was crowned the 2022 3A state champions. As the last few sports wrap up, who knows what's in store for the South Bend spring sports? For SBS-TV Sports Zone, I'm Cooper Van Derish.
That's all for SBS-TV News. Be sure to visit sbstvradio.org to learn more about our broadcast media program.
And tune in to our 24-hour radio station, WETL 91.7 FM The Mix.
For all of us here at SBS TV, I'm Fernando Sanchez.
And I'm Sage Grohl. Thanks for joining us.